Welcome back. This is our second try at this podcast.
This is. We're, I don't want to jump right into the blame game, but Kyle has deleted. Let's see. No, basically cut me out of the last 5 minutes of the episode we tried to start by basically having me muted. And then he's also deleted an entire episode. Was it one or two? Was it one or two? Just one?
One. Did that.
Lots of problems. We're starting out. But that's, you know what? Today's topic is forgiveness. And that's what I'm about to do for Kyle, which I've done
friendship
over and over again.
Is revolved. I just interrupted you.
Yeah.
Already.
Yep.
We are like 30 seconds in. Already interrupted.
I'm trying to really work on listening to Kyle.
Yeah,
this
I'm
entire
really trying
episode I am
to
going
work
to
on Aaron listening to Kyle more. Our set's different. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we've got a different look here, folks. If you're tuning on, if you're checking in on watching on YouTube, we look drastically different. Our set design team really came in and made some drastic changes, which we're very pleased with. Basically, we turned the table to be adjacent to one another, because in episode 8 we did at the Ronald McDonald House. If you haven't listened to that one live from the Ronald McDonald House, you need to just go back and do that right now. Boom, stop, press pause, go back, listen. We really liked the way that one ended up looking, so we're trying to model that change a little bit, and we want you to be able to see the corner of Two Dudes in a Corner, which is now in view.
Yes. Yeah, all good things. So Aaron and I are a little bit in distress right now.
Can you tell?
Currently.
Can you tell? There's angst in the room.
There's so much tension between us.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of room between us for tension to be lying, because we are squished in this corner right now. But, so, if you don't follow us on Instagram, you're really missing out, because we like to battle. And we have been doing that.
We like to battle.
So
you know that song?
You tell the story. You tell the story. You're doing a great job last time before I interrupted it.
Before he had to erase the whole thing and start over. It's not going to be natural because I already got it out.
Yeah, well, now you rehearsed it once, and now you'd be perfect gold money.
You're right. I do better with rehearsals. So in a couple podcasts ago, we mentioned that we have mutual access to our social media accounts. Makes sense, right? Two Dudes in a Corner, both dudes should probably be able to post. And we questioned whether that was a good idea in a previous episode. We discovered last night it is absolutely the wrong thing.
It's a no-no.
It's a bad idea. What transpired, Aaron? I heard that question from you all. I will tell you. Kyle and I were texting, which we have been known to do on occasion, just to talk, business, plan.
Mostly castle business.
Mostly castles.
Yep.
Talk about mostly castles. And then we just so happened last night to basically go at each other's jugulars in each other's necks.
Right at the jug. So here's what happened.
Oh, that's
so.
Funny.
Here's what
I
happened.
was going to tell the story.
No.
Kyle's on board.
Let me defend myself for 10 seconds, and then you can just try as hard as you want to bring me down. But they're going to know the truth. The truth is, Aaron sent me a text that said, in quotes, K. Okay?
It was capital K.
Capital K.
Capital K.
That's it. So what's Kyle do? Sends Aaron a screen recording of me blocking his number. Because you don't do that to your best friend, okay? You don't K him, you don't K him. You K someone, you get blocked, right?
I'm pretty sure you said something before that made me K you. I think I was instigated. I think, if I recall correctly.
No.
So similar to a pit bull or a lion, anytime you feel a little bit cornered, you attack. That's the only way to combat aggression. So that's what I did with a good old-fashioned capital letter K. And then, what'd you say you did? Then he sent a video recording of him blocking my number, and then kept texting every time I'd text after that. Message not delivered. Message not delivered. Even though I had the little delivered sign under all of my texts. So he clearly thinks I'm a moron.
Oh, it was so funny.
So then I was like, okay, so Kyle has taken over the texting end of things. What I don't really want to I don't want to stay on that territory. You always want to find the higher ground. So I went to social media and used our Two Dudes in a Corner stories to announce that Kyle would be stepping down from his responsibilities on Two Dudes in a Corner for unforeseen reasons. Yeah. And then that I would be making a full statement about the incident on another episode of Poli Sands Live, which was so funny.
So then I created a new Instagram account called A Dude in a Corner, which took me...
You're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
So far
So
ahead.
he did another story with text only. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing another story with text only. I have to get on camera. So then I did a big five chunker, that's what I like to call
Chunky fives,
them. Chunky five story, long story, to really give more details. And basically was like there were lots of reasons, but one of them was that he promised to post on TikTok and hasn't posted one video on TikTok yet. So if you follow us on TikTok and are wondering, where's the content?
We have 3 followers on TikTok right now.
It's Kyle. Thirdly and fourthly and fifthly, I said more of this story will come out in court, and that I don't hold any ill will against Kyle at all, that I wish him the best. So then, Kyle, go ahead.
So then, Kyle...
We didn't do our sponsorships yet.
No, we will. I was going to, we'll wait for this story to be over, and then we'll talk about how freaking good this scone is, dude. And this, oh my gosh, my mouth, there's so many good flavors happening.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to me. So I created an Instagram account called A Dude in a Corner, made a story about it on our Two Dudes thing, and said, basically, I'm starting my own podcast. I'm branching off, doing my thing. And we didn't communicate outside of the story for a long time until the next day. And then we were talking about how funny it was.
Well, we didn't even really talk much about it. We just sent GIFs all morning.
We did, and mine were all SpongeBob GIFs.
They were all SpongeBob, which I can't stand.
I know, he doesn't like Spongy Bobby, but I love me some Spongy Bobby. Anywho, so, but then I was like getting messages from people being like, what's going on between you and Aaron in this podcast? And we're just like, we're totally kidding. But at some point we have to tell the people that we're kidding because they have no idea what's going on. And they were like, our poor followers are like so beat up right now because of the going back and forth between he and I, and they don't know if it's real or if it's not. And it's not, but it is, This is our last podcast. We'll see you guys never.
And you know what? It's just the downside of being an actor that sometimes you just come off a little too natural. I think I might have had just a smidgen of a glossy eye, which implies potential tears. So, sometimes those just are a little too real for people.
You just had a smidgen of a glossy eye, which is a really funny statement, and I'm going to start using it.
Thank you. Smidgen of a glossy eye. It sounds like a novel. Have you read Smidgen of a Glossy Eye by Aaron Fullen? I'm going to get right on that.
You should write your first romantic novel.
Is it gonna, I never decided it was going to be romantic.
Yeah, it'll be romantic.
I don't know. Here's the thing that I'm realizing about this first podcast we're doing in this new on this new set. I can't really look at Kyle or I won't be on mic. And it's also weird to just talk directly at a camera without acknowledging the person next to you. But we'll see. We'll see if this works. This is called trial and error, folks. Have we not told you enough times that when you join us on a journey, you join us on an adventure, the good, the bad, the ugly all come out?
Yeah. And right now it's probably pretty ugly because I've been eating this scone and drinking this coffee the whole time. So if you've been hearing this, it's me drinking my coffee from Steam Anchor, which is so good. This is in New Orleans, which is, I believe, milk, cold brew, brown sugar, vanilla. I think that's right. And it's so good. This used to be my go-to. Started watching my sugars a little bit, so I switched to the black. He also gave me just a black cold brew, which is what I asked for originally, but then he's like, that's so original, so then I ordered this thing. But they also gave us some scones. They donated to the cause because Steam Anchor freaking rules. If you haven't been to Steam Anchor in Fulton, Illinois, you have to do it. Best coffee, best sandwiches, best scones, best pastries you ever have.
You ever have.
Ever will, ever have.
Okay, thank
you. There we go.
Yeah. What do I drink? Thank you for asking, Kyle.
I was really curious. Everyone's dying to know.
I drink an Americano, an iced Americano with cream. Because I am a man of simple tastes. A man of simple...
That's a simple man taste.
At least I'm not basic like you. I drink a New Orleans. With comes with milk and oats rolled in flour.
Hello, sir. Might I have your finest batch of a New Orleans and a scone while you're at it?
Let's just put this out there, guys. Kyle has way finer taste than me, and he makes it very, very clear in basically everything he does.
I don't know if that's that's like a backhanded compliment stab in the chest.
That's exactly what it was.
I'm so confused. I don't know where to go from here. It's like, thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, take that as you will. Be that as it may.
But that's our sponsor is Steam Anchor.
Steam Anchor, much love to you, honestly.
And KT3 Fitness. I have a free gym membership there because of this podcast too. At KT3 Fitness in Fulton.
Yeah.
And Port Byron.
I think I've been there. I don't think I've been there enough to either recommend it or not recommend it. So I'll just quietly sit by for this promo, this sponsor. But I do hear good things about the owner.
So he FaceTimes me, and I'm working out, just getting my pump on, dude. My biceps freaking pumped up, ready to go. FaceTime from Aaron. And I said, I will drop all of these weights to talk to my boy. And I did. And then I'm walking outside, found a rooftop to talk to him on, because that's how I roll. I'm always on the rooftops screaming all the happy stuff. And I was like, oh, what's going on in your life? He's like, oh, not a whole lot. I just won an award in the New York City Film Awards. I was in 7 movies.
You do have a good memory.
Yeah, he listed like
memory.
15 things that were impressive as heck, and I'm just like, I just did biceps. So how's that make you feel, bud? No, it was just so funny because we hadn't talked in like a couple days, and then all of a sudden he just spews out all of these things that have unfolded in a day and a half, 2 days, whatever. And I was impressed. So let's just dive into that a little bit, because these people are now dying to know what the heck I'm talking about.
Shucks, Kyle. I was really hoping you wouldn't even mention this.
I
It's
shouldn't
pretty
have.
much exactly what Kyle said. Thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Next subject. Kyle loves protein powder.
Wow, I do.
Were you drinking protein powder yesterday when you were busting your biceps?
Afterwards, yeah.
You did?
All right, so what I've been
Where are you getting
doing...
your protein when you're down in Iowa City?
Protein shakes.
No, but where? Where are you getting them?
The protein shake place.
In the gym?
There's one there, and then also I buy like the Fairlife Core Power 42-gram protein shakes in the bottle. You can get those at Walmart, Target, Hy-Vee, anywhere.
I thought you would just bring your mix from home and make them yourself.
I don't like it. Don't like the powder. It's always clumpy.
Remember what I said about Kyle and his finer tastes? Prime example. He can't stand his chunky shakes.
Well, my raspberry cheesecake scone is way, way gooder than your blueberry scone.
How'd you know it was raspberry cheesecake?
Because I can taste the raspberries and the cheesecakes. And so in my brain, I put it together and said, this has got to be a raspberry cheesecake scone.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. You're well spotted. Yeah, so brief rundown. I did get invited to speak at my first film festival next year. I can't say which one because it hasn't been publicly announced yet. But I'm very excited. Very cool opportunity and a great networking opportunity, as well as just to be with a bunch of like-minded, like-driven creatives. So very excited about that. That's next March. And then, so when was that? That was Monday. Before that, on Saturday, I had found out that I won the Best Original Score Award at the New York Movie Awards, it's called. And
he did that
for a project called The Glitch, which was originally released as, well, I didn't even know it was in the festival circuit, as they say. So it was completely out of left field for me. But it was originally going to be a pilot episode that was being pitched to various production companies and studios. So I worked on this probably back in, I don't remember, April, May,
1974?
for all May of this year.
Oh.
And very, very fun. Sci-fi made by a bunch of young, ambitious, creative individuals whom I love. So yeah, I just kind of forgot about it because I hadn't heard if it had gotten any distribution or anything like that. Well, apparently they submitted it as, I don't know in what category, but they had been submitting it to festivals. And it just got selected as an official selection at another festival I can't say yet. But that is...
We love secrets.
I will say I just saw it was on a list of like top 10 film festivals to go to that are worth the ticket price in the U.S.
What is the ticket price?
No idea.
72,000 pounds.
Probably that much. So exciting stuff ahead for them. I knew it was a talented crew of people. Then I had auditioned for a role last week in a film that's filming in San Francisco.
Which is why his mustache is gone.
Which is why my mustache is gone. I had to shave it for the audition. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be someone who was like late teens, early 20s, which I still don't look that young. But good enough, I guess, because they did offer me the role.
Let's go.
Still negotiating as of this very day. Got an email from my agent earlier this morning. Things are not quite settled yet, but I'm really hoping that it'll work out. And so I can go like in a week and a half.
Wait, yeah, that's coming up soon, dude.
Yeah.
Holy
cow.
cow.
Leave October 23rd.
You know, you said the day the other day when you told me. And
that was yesterday.
Which was yesterday. Wow. Dude, I'm jacked up from
Kyle's
this.
on a different schedule.
Yeah, I do my own thing. But you said the date, and it seemed like so far away, and it's literally a week and a half. It's already days. October. It's fall, dude.
It's 10 days.
Dude. Okay, so he's got his corduroy jacket on. I got my flannel on with a bulldog. The bulldog scratched me one time. Got a hole in the arm.
You gotta tell him the story.
I will. But we're just saying,
I just heard it.
It's fall time. It's fall time. Okay?
It's very fall.
That's why I'm sipping on my sweet ass coffee, because that makes me feel a little bit more like a fall man.
I know you're thinking we should have had pumpkin spice. Well, we didn't. Okay.
No, we didn't. Maybe next time though.
Maybe.
I do like pumpkin spice. I do. I think
it has become so stereotyped that I think I've lost some of my affinity for it.
But I think that's like what happened. Like, people enjoy pumpkin spice still, but they just don't like the mantra that comes with it, that they just don't want to do it, you know?
That's probably true.
Yeah. Like, guys are like, I'm not going to do pumpkin spice because I ain't basic. Right. But then it's like, it still tastes good. I know you know it tastes good.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're digressing.
Well said, Kyle.
I don't
say that very often, but that was very well said.
Thank you so much. So my baby girl, this is big stuff, Blakely Grace, she's amazing, first of all, and I love her so much. She changed my whole life, and I love holding her, and I love snuggling her, and I love when she stares at me. And I told her a little story the other day about Vietnam, and she laughed at me, and it made me so happy. We won't go into that, but
thank you.
She is about to come home. So this podcast we're doing it. It's a Thursday. She's potentially going to be home on Saturday, which is huge because we've been in Iowa City for 17 days now.
Wild.
In the NICU. And it's been amazing. But I just wanted to update you guys on that for whatever reason. But I'm so excited for her to be back home. Holy smokes. And I'm ready to get back into routine a little bit. When I say routine, I don't have one. He doesn't. But being home is sometimes fun for a couple days. So I'm excited for that. And then I'll figure out my next adventure. Anywho, so this hole right here, we should talk about that because it's an important hole.
Kyle, I like how you don't need bridges anywhere.
There's
where you go.
There's no
bridges.
You
just hop the chasm from one story to the next.
Yeah.
Blakely, we love you. Now we're going to talk about a bulldog. Blakely and the Bulldog. That's a
Blakely.
great children's book in the
That's going to be
making.
the name of our podcast.
Our podcast or children's first co-written
No,
children's
this
book?
episode.
Blakely and the Bull. I love that.
That's great, isn't it? It's all
That's
about
the-
me. That's the best part.
That's a great
So,
idea.
there's nothing to do with Aaron. We could say like film award Blakely and
Don't
the Bulldog.
stop.
Just
no.
so you
Just
feel
roll.
included.
Just stop.
Okay, so I own gyms. That's what I do. I had to make people wear masks when COVID was happening because I thought I was going to get in trouble by the state if I didn't, and I wouldn't have, and it was stupid. But anyway, I was getting stressed out because people were like getting mad at me for this thing, for making them wear masks, and I was like, I
Me
have
being
no
one of them.
control. You didn't come
Kidding.
before.
I'm kidding.
Oh, it cuts
Sorry.
so deep. He's my best friend. He doesn't come to the gym. I'm kidding.
I think about it.
I'm kidding. Anywho, so I got really stressed out, and it was a Wednesday night, I remember, and I booked a flight to Clearwater, Florida for Thursday morning, and I left at like 8 a.m. So I had like a couple hours to pack, got some sleep, drove to the airport. Flew to Clearwater, Florida. Had no reservations anywhere, no plans, nothing, just Kyle and his imagination, which is a scary thing. And so I find this Airbnb as I'm in the airport, and it's like $35 a night at this person's house. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a great thing. Stay in someone's house in their guest room. Why not? I knock on the door. Who answers? This professional bodybuilder, giant human being of a man.
Bigger than me? Be honest.
I would say he's probably got 200 pounds on you or so.
That's it?
That's about it.
Not
So
bad.
not too much bigger, but just enough bigger
Smidgen.
to be scary. And
If
he had
you
a
can't
bulldog.
see, if you're listening on like a regular audio platform, you can't see me. But if you are looking at me, you can see that I take up most of the video frame.
You're right, because he is a he's a behemoth of a
figure.
human being.
It's actually behemoth, but that's
You're always
neither
correcting
here
me
nor
when I'm maybe right.
just kidding.
Ugh.
You know what?
Tomato,
Tomato, potato, potato.
Carderoy
He
boy.
did say Carderoy earlier,
I did say that,
which is
which I don't know. It's close.
close enough.
It's close enough.
Very close.
Anyway, he has a bulldog, and the bulldog came up, and the second that I got there, he ripped a hole in my sleeve with his little paw, and that's why I have a hole in my flannel. That's literally the end of the story now. And then I found $5. Okay? Whenever I tell a story that doesn't land real well, I always end it with,
I thought
and
it
then I
landed
found
very well.
$5.
I think it landed far better than most of my airline flights land. Excuse me, I have to
Wow.
cough.
Are you on, like, what airline do you use? Spirit?
Wow, we bashed cell phone service a couple episodes ago. Now we're just going to go right after the airlines. We're going to have a hard time getting sponsors if all we do is actually say the ones we don't like. Or it will create incentive for those we do like who aren't mentioned negatively to come after us in the very best sense of the word.
What airline do you use?
Typically, I fly American or United or Delta. And I would say the one I appreciate the top most is Delta and American.
Yeah. I'm with you. We can agree on this.
Well, I'm going to leave it as.
So when you fly out to San Francisco for your new big shiny gig of up the big screens in the Hollywoods, you're going to in the Beverly Hills and stuff.
San Francisco is nowhere near Beverly Hills.
Not even close. But you're going to fly with either American. Wait, do they?
I don't know.
They probably
book
pick.
it. The people book
That's
it.
probably Spirit.
They better not. No, thank you. No, thank you. But I do try to.
That was a
Excuse me.
sweet beat, dude.
Excuse me. I had just a brief little stroke. It's fine. And I did because I can't even remember what I was going to say. Oh, I do try to pack. I have learned if it's a short enough stay, which this one could either be very short or very long, which is why we're still in negotiations because I work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, then literally a 2-week break almost, and then the Thursday and the Friday, 2 weeks after that. They want me to stay for the full almost 3 weeks. But I'd only work 6 of those days. So I will not be able to do a light carry-on bag if I'm staying 2 weeks in San Francisco. But
You get
previously,
one outfit.
I tried to just keep a carry-on.
Really?
Because I hate dealing with baggage and baggage claims.
Really?
It's just...
I always check a bag.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yep.
Happy for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't. But I do accept the free pretzels on the flight. And water. And sometimes, if I'm feeling extra, Sprite.
Oh, you big dog.
A little 7-Up.
Let's talk about
Yum,
Southwest. I flew with Southwest
Oh.
from Florida home,
I kind of forget about Southwest.
they give you 2 free carry-ons, 2 free check bags.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think most just do... I mean, the 2 carry-ons is normal. But you're right. The 2 check bags, I think, is kind of rare now.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's really cool.
I flew Allegiant down. They make you pay for every bag that you ever want. You bring a Walmart bag
And
on,
every
you're paying
pretzel.
for it, dude. Yeah, each pretzel's $1. They're like, oh, our flight is $40 to get you where you want to go. And then it's like, oh, but then also I forgot to tell you that the pretzels you just ate, 16. Okay?
Aw.
I know.
Sorry about that.
Have you ever had a meal on an airplane?
Yes.
Going to Europe, I imagine, right? Yeah. Mine
Yeah.
was to Hawaii. They gave us
Hawaii.
these ham sandwiches. There's like a Hawaiian.
Oh. Did it
Dish.
have
It was
pineapples
good.
on them?
No, there wasn't pineapples.
How can
on it.
anything be Hawaiian without a pineapple?
I think
on
I think that is a Midwestern myth right there.
No. Can't be.
The pizza,
all they do with
yeah.
Hawaiian, all they do in Hawaii is eat coconuts and what are they called? Pineapples, and sit on the beach and like dance around
Yeah.
volcanoes.
And spam. They're huge spam
kidding.
people. Did you know that?
I think someone did tell me. Was that you?
It had to have been me.
It had
but-
to have been me. Why? Or you? Why would I have heard that from anywhere else?
Right, that'd be weird if you did.
Why do they like spam so much?
I don't know. If you're
If
from
you are-
Hawaii.
Go ahead.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
No,
Kyle.
you got it.
No, you were. I felt your lead-in was
I'm
so much
getting
better
sick.
than mine. You are, aren't you? Kyle is getting sick, but don't worry. He's not contagious through the airwaves.
That's the
just hit my
second
head.
time he smoked his head at our
I
new.
don't like this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out.
That's
Anywho.
all right. That's okay. I'm okay. I have had a concussion before, and they say that you're way more likely to get your second one easier. So if I start sounding weird, it's probably because I have a concussion.
There's a little blood dripping down your neck right now from your ear.
Speaking of blood, Kyle, yesterday when we talked too as well, before I went into my awards spiel, he was telling me how he was and that he's been playing a lot of basketball, folks.
It's a basketball.
Which, if you know Kyle, he likes basketball. You know he likes basketball a lot. So that's what he's been doing a lot of. The end. No, I'm just kidding. So he said that day, was it yesterday that it happened?
2 days ago.
2 days ago was the incident?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Where someone came down on his foot and he gosh, I'll try again. He ran into someone. No. His toe was damaged by something or someone. Mostly.
I was not wearing basketball shoes.
Problem number 4.
Yep. And I jabbed one way too hard and I could feel my toe.
You literally just moved wrong?
Yeah.
You did not even tell me that it was.
No, yeah, I left that part out. It's a
You
little
literally
embarrassing.
just pivoted.
I didn't pivot. No, I was crossing over and I jabbed left with my foot. And when I did that, I could feel my foot kind of slide in my shoe and my toe go just into my shoe. And then
so much
after
better
that,
than-
we're squishing, and my foot was squishing. And I'm like, that's not normal.
Your foot's not supposed to squish.
No.
Normally.
I could feel it, like, when you have a wet shoe and it's like
Been there.
squishy. That's what it felt like in my toe area. And I'm like, my toe's bleeding really bad right now. So we finished the game that we're playing. It's a
Basketball.
pickup game. And I take my shoe off, and I had a white sock on. The one day I wear white socks. And there's this huge blood stain on it. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's not so much heavy there. So then I take my sock off, and the top part of my toe is bent over to the left. Just a little bit.
Thank you for the directional.
Just like that. If you're looking at the YouTube, that is what it looked like. And I'm like, that's really not normal. You see that? Like that. If this was the top of my toe, that's what it looked like.
Got it.
So then what did I do? I took it
Clean it out.
I cracked it back over, and it felt better actually after I did that. Everyone thinks it's gonna hurt, and it hurts for a second, but then it's like it feels way better afterwards.
It's like life, Sometimes
put my sock back on, and we played another
Sorry, I was
hour.
gonna really tie this together with like a big
Now you can
worldview
go.
piece, but
Yeah. Now you
I'm
can go.
sorry.
Now you can go with your worldview.
No, what happened? How'd you fix your toe, Kyle? You just slid it back in place.
Mm-hmm.
Did you clean it? I assume.
Mm-mm. No, I did afterwards. After I got home, I took a shower, and it was fine.
You're supposed to clean out wounds.
Mm-mm. What's your worldview? I'm very curious now.
Well, I just have another one now too because you don't clean out your wounds. You don't clean your wounds, all they do is fester.
Mm-hmm.
Fester.
Wow, we could go so many places with those two statements.
Very much so.
Do it.
But I'll try and limit
Do
myself.
it.
But yeah, so Kyle was telling me the story, and then he's like, "Well, I have a picture of it. Let me send it to you." So he did, and that is that.
That was the story.
That was very.
Excuse you.
It was a great day, I guess, is what is the summary of that entire little section. But yeah, I mean, when you think about life,
oh goodness, gravy,
in the broad sense of the word, and the very broadest sense of the word, it is like a toe that's damaged. A lot of times the very tip, just like Kyle's toe, gets damaged. And if you don't fix them, folks, if you don't fix those toe tops, your life will be squishy.
Unbalanced and squishy,
in your shoes. Wow, that took everything out of me.
That was
deep. Really worth it.
I'm gonna go and cry for a little bit thinking about that, and then I'm gonna come back.
I have a new title. Please hold. Blakely, Bulldogs, and Bloody Toes.
Oh my gosh, that'll get people listening.
That'll get them right hooked.
That'll get them listening.
And they'll have to wait like a full 28 minutes to even get to that part of it, which is great. This is all about clickbait. Kyle and I are all, as you can tell, we're so structured in such a way that we just lure our listeners in and keep them hooked like a sea bass. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
A big old fat tuna.
Dude, I have been working out so much.
Why are we back there?
Because my body hurts. I'm just sitting here thinking about what's not sore because I want to work out again today.
Your brain probably isn't.
Oh, you're right. But no, listen, I did watch some educational videos today because for Blakely to get discharged, the parents have to watch these videos. One was about CPR for infants, so I am now an expert at saving infant lives. One was about babies crying a bunch, called the purple period.
Remember that.
And then one was about sleeping behavior. No, safe sleeping. So I'm learning a lot as a dad. You know the few things that I've learned as a dad so far? You want to know a couple of them?
Didn't we just hear a couple? Or
No.
Okay.
No, those were videos. This is the real life application.
You learned nothing from the videos? Oh,
This is the real life application, okay?
All right.
One, didn't know I could love something so much, okay? She's got my little heart all wrapped up in her little tiny self. I love her. Second thing is, if anyone ever touches her and she starts crying, makes me want to punch him in the throat as hard as I can. And I'm not a violent person for the most part. Sometimes I am.
Sometimes he is.
Not often, but if my baby's crying because you moved her or touched her wrong, I want to punch you in the throat. Anyway, that's what I've learned so far.
Those are the two.
A couple of important things.
That's very important. Wow. Now we'll have a moment of silence so you can process. What was just said. Thank you. Please hold. Thank you. Yeah, Kyle has been going through. Wow, I was going serious here for a second, and Kyle decides to just hijack it with laughter.
I'm sorry. I'm done laughing.
No, and I am done as well, being serious.
Here's what happened. Okay, here's what happened. These nurses, They're taking a feeding tube out of her belly, out of her mouth to put into her nose because she needed a feeding tube. And my little baby's just sitting there bawling her eyes out. And I am sitting there sweating, watching them do this because they're pulling it out, and she was so uncomfortable. And I'm like, I can't do anything right now. And then they put it in her nose, down to her stomach, and I was like so anxious and angry for no reason because she was so sad, and I just wanted her to be happy. That's what made me think of all of those things. Yeah.
Very relatable.
Aaron has 7 kids, so he's been through this multiple times.
Kyle, I've had 9 since our last
Does it get better ever, or is it always like that?
Oh, as far as feeling defensive for your kids?
Just like,
or like
maybe the
empathy?
amount of defensive.
Oh, that'll just heighten, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You will always have it. It doesn't matter what age your kids are, I think. It's just innate, you know?
Oh, we had a birthday party for your daughter the other day.
We did.
That was great.
Yep. My oldest turned 8.
I said we had a birthday party for your daughter as if like I was a
Kyle,
part of
like, co-hosted.
Yeah. No, I went to the birthday party.
He did.
And I
gave
ate
my
their
daughter
soup.
a Polly Pocket. We forgot to give you a cupcake. My wife felt very guilty about that.
I'm on a diet anyway, bud.
You didn't eat like you were.
I had a bowl of broccoli cheddar.
I had 2.
1.
I'm pretty sure it was 2.
I had 1 bowl.
Well, broccoli cheddar is not known for being like a thin person's favorite soup.
Oh my!
A dieting person's favorite
Well,
soup.
that's the last scone I ever eat, ever.
But yeah, Kyle gave Bella a Polly Pocket, a
Set.
sushi Polly Pocket. Well, Polly Pockets come as a set.
Oh,
Kyle.
I didn't know that till
They
right
just
now.
open, and then there's everything inside.
Oh my gosh! I wanted to see her play with it because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But then I had to go home.
Yeah, he left before most of the guests got there.
Yeah, I did. I am the worst.
Kyle likes to check in and check out. That is kind of in his, what do they call that? Modus operandi. That's kind of just what he does.
Solo de Gloria.
Close. Soli Deo Gloria. I want to pivot away from everything right now.
Thank goodness.
Everything we've been discussing. And talk just a moment about what Kyle was mentioning about learning from parenting and all of those classes that he had to take about taking care of a baby. One of the most eye-opening things that my wife talked to me about after we had kids, which was, I kind of knew it, but I didn't hear it to this extent until my wife worked for a daycare and she had to take these mandatory classes, and she remembers, no, it was before we had kids. Never mind. So I did learn my lesson before we had children. But she remembers going to this continuing ed type thing, and the presenter gave a presentation on child abuse. And it was fascinating to her because she said, we all tend to feel a little self-righteous when it comes to child abuse. So you hear someone's going to give a presentation on child abuse. This is, I can't wait to hear about all these horrible people and things to look for and all those kind of things. But the first thing the presenter said when he got up in front of all of these teachers is, before I begin this presentation, I want all of you in the audience to know right now that you are potential child abusers. And my wife was completely taken aback because he just established right from the get-go that no one is above losing it for a moment. And that was his big presentation. He said a lot of people who accidentally lash out on their children are just people who didn't handle the situation that everybody faces well. So he said, for example, lack of sleep. When you're not getting sleep and you hear a screaming baby in the night, your temptation is to be way more out of control than you typically are when it's during the daytime. You're rested. You have all of these factors that are controlled and monitored. But when you let yourself out of those parameters, you have to have accountability. So basically they were saying, if you get to this point in a classroom, in a daycare, where you feel like you can't control your rage, which he was saying is perfectly natural if depending on the circumstances. You need to check out and remove yourself from the situation before you do something you'll regret. So basically the big idea was anyone's capable. Many people who do it in a fit of rage and then regret it immediately after. And so basically figure out how you can best control those factors and your temper.
That brings me to our next point. Murderers. I feel like that's the same thing, very different, obviously, but I feel like there's a lot of times where people will like do something out of rage in like a small instance that they'll regret for the rest of their life because they didn't control their rage well.
Right.
Like they hit someone in the head with a baseball bat or something. And then they're like, I can't undo that.
You can't.
You can't undo it.
You
But
can't
it's
move
just
on.
like, we all get angry. Some angrier than others, and some handle it better than others and all this stuff. But it's human nature to like get angry and want to lash out. And when
Right.
it comes to your children, that how you display anger and how you handle anger is so impactful on how they develop as a human being.
Right.
Dude. I mean, jeez.
Well, and children, I have found, you all who have children can attest to this probably, bring out anger more than I ever understood / thought possible. Because they're just, like even a newborn, they like just the screaming, screeching, interrupting your sleep is unbelievably grating. And even though you love them more than anything, it's such a crazy sensation of like, how do you make it stop? Like that's just all your brain wants to think at that time. And it's just, the book of Proverbs in the Bible has so much to say about controlling your anger and the benefits of being like a person who has no control over their emotions in general, but anger especially, you're going to do something you regret. And so it's so important. And I also think it's interesting that, when laws were being created in the Old Testament and Moses was telling all of the Israelites, here's how you should live your life and how to deal with crime and all that kind of stuff. And most of our laws to this day are based on those, foundational laws back then, including premeditated murder, which is first degree murder, and then murder that is, accidental rage, where, someone, for example, stumbles in on their spouse having an affair and they kill them. That has a very different penalty than someone who plans for months to kill someone and execute it flawlessly, which makes sense. There is a difference in that reactionary and methodical. That sounds like a type of song. Madrigal. That's
Man's oranges.
Oh goodness! Wow, I just went like.
You just went off the deep end, bro. Not actually. That was great. It really was good. I love mandarin oranges too. So here's a bridge for you. If anyone loves bridges, it's me. I'm a huge bridge guy. I made an Instagram story the other day on my personal page.
So personal.
And it said, give me your best dad, like parents, give me your best dad advice. Guess what the number one piece of advice was?
Anybody?
The most, you in the back over there.
You in the blue car over there. God, that's a blue
it
car.
was never trust a fart. That was the most people said that.
You've got to be kidding
and
me.
I said, that's great advice.
Kyle has really mature friends. That says everything you needed to say.
Yep.
Everything you needed to say.
And so that's the only one I went away with. I read all the other ones and I'm like, yeah, those are good. But I do not trust many things, especially a fart.
Pretty much out of time. I cannot believe you ended with that.
Oh, you can't believe it.
I am
You really can't believe
really
it.
disturbed and mortified, and I'm sorry to any of you who did not expect it to end this way, especially after such a marvelous closer that I had.
Such a beefy
given
closer.
us.
I had to do it. I had to. I didn't have any other choice, dude.
I don't know.
That's the only choice I had was that one.
You know what? Life is full of choices, Kyle. Very rarely are you left without an alternate course.
The other alternate.
I don't think that was one of those instances. But it's over, and so is this podcast episode. So you better just figure out how to wrap us from here.
Okay, I'll wrap us.
Oh, heaven help us.
Dude, give us something. Bro, did you hear that beat? And you didn't even go off of it. I was waiting for a rap song.
Sorry.
I do want to make an album one of these days. So when I get bored enough, I'll come up with my own rap album, and then that's how we're gonna close the episode, to get them really excited for something new, something fun and exciting, and that's a rap album.
Yeah, and I'll definitely promote it heavily when it's released to the public.
Chris Pratt, if you're listening to us, dude, give my boy shout out my boy.
Seriously,
listen to the song.
Unbelievable.
Hire him for your company at Pratt tat. Right, that's his Instagram. Pratt tat.
It's quite a few Pratts right in a row.
Yep.
But you know what, Chris? No pressure, bud.
No.
I know you got one or two things spinning in your universe.
All right, let's get real. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram, Facebook, you should do that because it's great. We have lots of fun. If you don't follow us, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, it's cool, dude. You should, because it's fun to watch me eat scones the whole episode, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys really enjoyed the scone eating today.
This is episode 9. Wow. That is Wild Kratts. Have you seen that show? No.
Wild Chris Pratt.
No, Wild Kratts. My kids love it. It's like a
never heard of
show.
it, actually.
Yep. Where was I? Hello. Episode 9, which is Wild, and Kyle had...
Try again.
Clearly.
Try it again here, buddy.
End of an episode.
Try it again.
We don't know how many episodes we're doing. We're going to try a season, we've said. We've talked about. So now's the time to get on board. Give us your feedback. Give us your thoughts. We always love to hear from you. And if we don't hear from you, we won't know what you think.
And if we don't respond right away with Howie, because we just don't do that very often.
Yeah. I'm better. Yeah, he's right.
I'm that guy. Sorry, but we're getting better at it.
Yeah.
We're not yet, but we're going to get better at it.
We're improving. And you know what? That's what life's journey is all about. And this is a great closer. Bring up the music, everybody. Bring up the music. Life is the goal.
Life is the goal.
Amen and amen.
We got to get out of here. We got to get out. We're getting loony bin up here.
I'm pretty sure there's like carbon monoxide in here. I just feel loopy.
I was laughing.
That would be terrible. Do you know my parents almost died in carbon monoxide poisoning?
You should tell the story.
We do not have time for that, but I should tell you next time. I literally almost lost both my parents, my best friend at the time, his parents in the same incident, and like 3 other couples that we know and love dearly almost died in the same carbon monoxide event. And that's it, folks.
And that is hilarious. We are just not, it's not. I'm sorry.
Next week, everybody, please join us. This is Two Dudes in a Corner. Oh, you probably want to do your sign-off thing.
Oh, hey, guess what? We love ya, even if we don't know ya.
Bye-bye for now.
Ta-ta.